everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders would love nothing more than to finish out today's game with a second notch in that win column. It's the Chiefs going up against the Raiders. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's a day, Larry, that fans in these parts will need to savor as we come to you from the East Bay and Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they've got all W's on the ledger so far. A perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
We are in the first quarter. We get you back to the action to see how this defense can do on this upcoming drive. Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. In a 3-4 defense there and against the run, a lot of responsibility can fall on that nose tackle.
A ton of responsibility, no pun intended, because they got to deal with not just the center, both guards, and a lot of times they have to eat up double teams in order to let the rest of the guys get to the football.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go. Early on in the game, first quarter. Let's see how this defense does on this drive. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up 4th. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. We are in the first quarter. We get you back to the action to see how this defense can do on this upcoming drive. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just to... And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Not something you see a whole lot of, a sack of Derek Carr, and due in large part to a good O-line. Carr was sacked on less than 3% of his dropbacks last year, lowest in the league.
Oakland knew it was important to take care of their quarterback. They picked up Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, and Rodney Hudson in recent years, and it's paid off.
On second down, Lynch, and he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16, and he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception. Game first quarter. Let's see how this defense does on this drive. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Carr now on first down. Throw left side to the tight end, Walford. It's a foot race. The 30. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act to this first quarter. First down, the run with Lynch. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. D. Ford, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And this one is right down Broadway. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Time now to see what this defense can do. Second quarter as the offense starts out 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second down, here's Carr. It's hauled in by Lee Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Throwing on first down is Carr. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, that's a drive killer right there.
So a 1st and 10 coming up for the offense here in the second quarter. Let's see what this defense can do. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Brought in by Walford, right side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The final shot here before half for Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top as we send you cross-country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando. With our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA halftime report. The Raiders have really struggled out of the gate here. The Chiefs have done a good job taking control of this game, and the scoreboard shows as much. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. After the INT, offense comes out now. Carr is going to complete the pass, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 23-yard line. Raiders would later kick the field goal. Down to late in the second. Carr is on target here, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to their own 43-yard line. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back now to Oakland for the start of the second half.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Fighting him off. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
So we're in the third quarter. We'll see how this defense handles the upcoming drive as the offense takes over with a 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr. That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Carr fighting Patterson there for a Raider first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Carr to throw on second down. They dump it off to Lynch. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. On second down, Washington. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big...
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. Past the 20. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, you do.
Beginning of the drive, 1st and 10 coming up for the offense. We'll see how this defense does here in the 3rd quarter. They'll try to get something going with Marshawn Lynch. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Carr throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. And Carr seems to be in some pain. He's still down. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. A good spot to be in for this defense. They'll head back out, protecting a big lead here in this 4th quarter of play. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Here's Manuel. Here's Wolford over the middle. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. Now Manuel. They'll set up the screen to Lynch. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. Extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Start of the drive here, fourth quarter, and this defense looking for a stop. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Caught the tight end Walford. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. They're never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now back to throw. Walford's got it. Complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. He'll look to throw. He'll dump it off complete to Lynch. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Kansas City, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Oakland.